before we get away from the LA game, we probably should talk about the most memorable moment in that game. When this season is all in the rearview mirror, nobody will forget what happened on Saturday night, where at the end of the game, near the end of the game, Brady Tkachuk and Brendan Lemieux totally get into it. It all started because one of the LA King players, some fourth liner, he goes in and snows Philip Gustafson, the goaltender. And Brady Tkachuk and Artem Zub, for that matter, came over and they wanted to have words with the guy. Well, at that stage of the game, Brendan Lemieux enters the fray, really wrenches Brady Tkachuk's neck from behind, and then it was on, of course. Brendan Lemieux, Claude Lemieux's son, doing what he does, and they get into a big skirmish, rolling around on the ice, and it is Brady Tkachuk's assertion that Brendan Lemieux bit him not once but twice on the hand. What what was your reaction to that whole mess on Saturday night?
I shock, obviously. This is not something that regularly happens in the National Hockey League. There's a biting incident about once every 5 or 6 years, isn't there? Just crazy. I'm wondering, is there an underlying thing there between Lemieux and Kachuk? I know I read something. Guys are trying to stir up something about how the dads didn't like each other and fought a couple times. But that's just. I agree with Brady's comments. That's no class. That's just bush league. Okay, if I'm in the middle of a bottom of a scrum and there's all kinds of people on top of me and I can't breathe and your hand is over my mouth, then okay, I'm going to bite you. But this was just totally uncalled for, unnecessary, and like just classless.
Kachuk was absolutely outraged. You could see how upset he was right after they finally break them up. And it was really badly done, by the way. They only had one linesman on that because I guess there was a skirmish going on somewhere else where another linesman was in there. So it was this weird, twisted mess with Lemieux, Kachuk, and the linesman. And you could see how upset Kachuk was right away. He effing bit me. He made sure that everybody knew that he had gotten a bit on the play, and it was chirping in the penalty box area. But man, Kachuk really let go after the game was over.
I think it was the most gutless thing somebody could ever do. Not even children bite. It's this guy is just. You can ask any one of his teammates. Nobody wants to play with him. This guy is a bad guy, bad teammate. Focus on himself all the time. Just the guy's a joke. He shouldn't fucking be in this league. It's this guy's gutless. I know no other team wants him. He's gonna keep begging to be in the NHL, but no team's gonna want him. This guy's just an absolute joke and just a bad guy. And it's gutless, but I can't really wrap my head around it. Children don't even do this. This guy's just a bad guy and not even a good player either. It's outrageous. It's like kids don't even do that anymore. It's babies do that, and the fact that he decides I don't even know what he's thinking. He's just a complete brickhead. He's got nothing up there. Bad guy, bad player, but what a joke he is. So.
How do you really feel, Brady? Holy moly, did he let loose? And Jonathan Quick has now come to the defense of Brendan Lemieux for everything that Brady Tkachuk said there. He's basically, he said he was saying that everybody here would rather have Brendan Lemieux as a teammate than Brady Tkachuk as a teammate, and called Tkachuk's statements garbage. That's if you like the post game fodder, that's about as good as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It makes you wonder, like, where does Brady get his information? You don't just throw something out like that without knowing something. He's got buddies on the team, or he's got buddies that have played with Lemieux before. He knows something. And Jonathan Quick coming to his defense. Okay, let's see how the rest of the team reacts. Let's see how the executive reacts in LA. If Brendan Lemieux is suddenly shuffled off within the next couple of weeks, or sent down, or sat out, health bomb, whatever, just keep an eye on this situation. I'm interested to see how the rest of Brendan Lemieux's career pans out over the course of the next month or two.
Yep. This is the quote from Jonathan Quick, by the way. I've got it in front of me now. I have my own opinion about what happened or did not happen last night. And what I can tell you is any comments that were made about Pep were garbage. I guess he's inherited his dad's nickname. Claude
Mm-hmm.
Lemieux's old nickname from his NHL days was Pepe Lemieux, because he was a bit of a skunk out there, the way he played the game. He's a valuable player, Quick continues. who sticks up for his teammates. We all support him, and I'd rather have him on my team over that kid, being Tkachuk, any day of the week. At this stage of the game, it's really hard. If I'm in the Department of Player Safety, like I watched that video, I don't know what I'm doing with it. Like, I guess the officials must have some sort of conclusive proof by looking at Brady Tkachuk's hand when he was in the penalty box and maybe seeing teeth marks or something. But as an outsider, just watching the video, it's really difficult to say that for sure Brady Tkachuk was actually bitten on the play.
Yeah, there's no conclusive Brad Marchand licked me video evidence of this one. You need Gil Grissom and the CSI crew in there checking for get their swabs out and their flashlights and find some DNA embedded in Brady's hand somehow. But the rest they did look at it, right? They did look at Brady's hands and did make a call. So despite a lack of video evidence, they did make a call. So they must have been satisfied with what they saw looking at Brady's hand.
Yeah, and I'm confident that a bite or two bites did in fact occur just to see Kachuk's reaction.
Hmm.
You don't normally react like that if nothing has ever happened. If so, Brady Tkachuk is the greatest actor the NHL has ever known. But I mean, the Kings do have a leg to stand on here because unless there's actually, some kind of forensics you do, like you said, it's hard to know for sure. And you will notice if you watch the video, the very hand that was bleeding, I think it was the right hand. That was the exact one I noticed where he was pummeling kind of bongo style Lemieux in the side of the helmet. He was only getting helmet and visor, and that's an easy way to cut your hand. Not
Yeah.
saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying that's the kind of thing the Kings will throw out there.
Well, we'll see what comes out of the. He's got an in-person. He was offered the in-person meeting, right? So that
Yep.
means there's as soon as somebody's offered an in-person meeting, that means there will be a suspension. It's just a matter of how much, and it's his option to fly to New York for that meeting or not. Yeah, we'll probably have something within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yep. And it's usually 5 games or more when it's in person. So we'll see
Mhm.
for sure.